Hey guys, so Matt's going to come over in a little while and help me put that engine on the engine stand. But before he gets here, Ethan and I need to build a chain for lifting that engine. So that's what we're about to do right now. Whenever you're putting one of these little chains together, it's pretty simple. They come with all the hardware you need typically. Here you go. Throw those away, please, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're going to get some needle nose pliers. And you see on this pin, you've got a cotter key. So we take the needle nose pliers and flatten out the cotter key. Well, if I can hold it still enough to flatten it out, I will. Gah, come on. And then that slips out, and it goes on the chain. Oh, really? Well, dead gum. The inside of that is just slightly bowed out more than what I want. Almost, tiny little bit more. Ta-da! Now to anyone wondering, oh, you took a file to that and you're removing material and damaging the structural integrity. If you're not comfortable with working on metal and everything, I understand that. No judgment. I understand what the strength rating is on these and what I am trying to do with it. And I also understand that when you look at a casting, so they cast this hook to be a certain size. There is always a seam here. And that is where the two pieces of the mold put together. And then you pour cast iron into the mold, and your two pieces of your mold have a seam. And so you'll be left with a seam on the part. And then they take it in the factory, and after they have cast it, they polish the seam down, but it doesn't go completely flush. You can still see the seam sticking up a tiny bit. All I did inside here was take the seam down to the casting. I did not remove any material from the part itself. I was just cleaning up the seam. Dang it, I put the needle nose pliers away and I still need them. And that chain and those hooks are rated for like 15,000 pounds. The engine that I'm picking up, any engine that I pick up is going to weigh, 800 to maybe 1,000 pounds. Maybe something really big, I might be looking at maybe 2,000 pounds. I'm getting nowhere close to the structural capacity of these chains and hooks. Not even close. I could have gone with a chain probably half this big. It's still been well within where I needed to be. But they didn't have any hardened chain at the hardware store other than this one. And so I wanted hardened chain, so I bought the bigger chain. And then I chucked up the pin going through this hook into the vise just so that it wasn't rotating on me, because that's a pain to try and work with it when it's spinning all around in a circle. And then even someone who's done things like this 100 times, I went and screwed up just now. See on this one how the head of the pin is on the hook side, so you're not hanging on stuff, and the part that I made up is on the back side. I went and put this one together backwards. So now I've got to take it apart and redo it. Because what the heck, Barrett? You stood there and let me do it backwards, Ethan. Ethan said, I ain't telling you what to do. You screwed that up all on your own, huh? God, can't believe. And some people will probably tell you that what I'm doing right here doesn't really matter, and maybe it doesn't, but I just like to have the made up part of the hook away from the opening on the hook. So I'm not struggling with things. There you go. Ta-da! Alright, so Matt will be along in a little while and we'll put the engine on the engine stand. Alright, I'm going to back this truck up here and unbolt the clutch from this engine, so it'll be out the way when we get ready to mount it up. Alright. So, before we can mount the engine to the engine stand, we've got to pull this clutch off. And that tire is dead in the way. We might not be getting it off right now, but we can get set up for when Matt gets here. Go ahead and get the right bolts or nuts or sockets or, tools. Get stuff together. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Very cool. Oh, a little bit of tapping lube on here. Make sure these threads are all nice and clean. Now we're ready to put those back in. They'll go in with anti-seize. Clean this tap off. Go ahead and put this chain on here. We're about to put this thing together so we can lift the motor out of my truck and put it on that engine stand. And then we got to load this back into Matt's truck so he can take
Actually, we're going to leave this here for now.
Okay.
Because you might need it, and I don't need it at the moment.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
You use it, and when I need it back, I'll come get it.
Roger, roger. There we go. Cool. All right.
When you gonna start tearing it down?
I don't know. Pretty quick.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Get you a box, save all your little nuts and bolts.
Oh yeah. For sure. Which I need to go to your house and get that little box of bolts that's in that Bronco. Well, there you have it, folks. 306 on the engine stand. I can start taking her apart.